everybody, welcome to episode 7 of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. We are right here, this purple line, as it were, on an intercept course for Duna, making the encounter over here. Here's our ship. We have a nuclear booster stage. I've already taken the spare fuel out of here and stuck it over here. This thing only needs liquid fuel to go. We've brought with us this time a lander, and our mission is to go ahead and land on Ike and do a bunch of surveys and stuff like that. So we have a bunch of Ike-related missions with us. Basically, at this point, we are fast-forwarding time until we get to Duna's encounter, and then we're going to figure out what we'll do, how we're going to maneuver ourselves and stuff for Duna once we get there. So hang tight for that. We'll talk to you in a bit. Hey everybody, we're coming up on the descending node here. And I'm going to go ahead and do a correction at the descending node, just to see if I can't get this last 0.1 degree out of here, and also lower the Duna periapsis while doing so. Looks like we are, no problem. So we're going to go ahead and just fix this last little bit of node, and bring us into a much closer approach to Duna in the process. In fact, it looks like we're going to be crashing right into Duna pretty much. There we go. Okay, now we will fast forward to this encounter. I should just be able to go. Nope. Warp out here. There's our debris, which is the booster stage we brought with us. Coming up on Duna's sphere of influence. There we have it. We got a straight shot trajectory, basically, through Duna's, whatever Duna's got going on here. I actually want to set Ike as the target and see if I can't plot an intercept for that. We're a little bit below Duna. We got Flyby Duna done. Now all I need to do is figure out how to get myself situated for Duna. So, I think I need to go orbit normal, maybe? How's this fuel tank doing anyway? Oh, we got plenty. Yeah, that'll work. Just push this over like so. Try to sort of keep facing this marker. It'll be more efficient that way. That's an Ike encounter. I can work with that. Okay, let's zoom in on Ike and see how we're doing. So we can keep on pulling this up until this encounter actually crosses the equator, more or less. And then if we face... that's prograde. I want to face orbit, not anti-radial, orbit radial, to point in towards Duna. And bring this Ike encounter much closer. Looks like 60 kilometers is low orbit for Ike. The ship has become much more maneuverable. And once we get this maneuver done, we'll see about any science that we need to collect while we're out here. Okay. 60 kilometers. Here we come, Ike. $70. 58. Now, here's the question. We know we're burning 1.5 fuel per second. Whoa. How long of a burn? 2 minutes. Ouch. That's because we're coming in at 720, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. What kind of fuel do we have on this thing? 180, 102. Time to go to the old trusty calculator. 180 plus 102 divided by 1.5 something. I'll say 1.6 for fudge factor. It's 176 seconds of fuel. This may very well be a permanent trip to Ike with these guys. Because I'm not aero braking and the ship is heavier. Well. $720 meters per second is way more. Well, if I do landing, so this guy has about 1,300 meters per second delta V. If I wanted to, I could strand my scientist on the surface of Ike and come home with the other guy. But then we wouldn't be coming home with all the science, so that wouldn't make much of a difference. Gosh. I wonder if it's worth trying to aero brake. We didn't bring any aero braking gear. I think we can do a fuel run some other time as a rescue if we need to. I think that's going to be the way to go. It was like 1,300 delta V. I know we need 800 to do the thing. Now, the other possibility is a couple of maneuvers. Let's see how much it would take to actually, say, establish an orbit of some kind around Duna. $60 kilometers for Duna. Oh, dang it, I didn't want to get rid of that node. Shoot, this thing is so fidgety right now. 60 kilometers or so for Duna, something like that. A Duna orbit that intercepts, potentially intercepts Ike. Wish it would tell me what the second maneuver is. I bet there's a mod for that. The second maneuver... 42 seconds. And then the rest could be the lander. I think that is the way to go. That's the way to go. Yep. So the moral of this story is, don't go for the straightforward, most easy solution always. We're gonna grab an orbit around Duna. We will then find an encounter with Ike and use it. Turn on the nuclear engines and let's get this thing bending around here. So this encounter with Ike does not do us any good. It takes too much delta V to bring us into an orbit. Instead, we're going to aim for a 60-kilometer periapsis around Duna, hit the brakes, and fling out and come around for a more eccentric orbit. One that has an intercept of like, God, I'm sweating like crazy. It's getting hot in here. Just watching this map very carefully as we bring this maneuver down around Duna at 60 kilometers. '65 is close enough for me. Now, while we're here, we add a 45-second maneuver, because we figured out we have, 45 seconds is fine. To find, set as target, and encounter with Ike. Bring this periapsis down. About like that. And we can fix the descending node problem when we get there. Something about like that. We'll do the rest of the correction here at the descending node. That's a 59-second burn. And once again, did I figure out how much I had in this ship right now? 180 plus 89. 180 plus 80. Oops. 89. Divided by 1.6. 168 seconds. And we're taking off 59 seconds. 109 seconds, which should be enough to get out of Duna, away, back to Kerbal. Hopefully, no issues. And then the other question is going to be what kind of maneuver would we need here to bring us into an orbit and land? And maybe just the lander does that. Craziness. Absolute craziness. Fly by Duna. We can do some transmission of scientific data from space around Duna. This is the first time we've brought a materials bay here, so let's do that. Although we're going to end up keeping that. A crew report. Transmit that. $93,000 funds for science data from space around Duna. Let's go ahead and have Andra get her EVA. And we can do some observations that we weren't able to do before. So we were able to do mystery goos. But this is the first time we've been able to do a Science Junior. We're going to restore that. And back on board with you. Where are my other scientific instruments that I had stuck on this thing? There we go. Do we need these? Nope. This is a new one. Seismic data can't be done right now. Probably has to be landed. Yeah, and the mystery goo is nothing. Okay, well. We have a science lab, which is worth a lot of science. Yes, it is. Alright. Let's go ahead and fast forward to our next maneuver. Okay, we're about 8 minutes away. I don't know. Let's see. It's going to be about a minute burn, right? Yeah, minute something. So we'll get facing this node. And then warp there. A minute and 11-second burn. So we'll start this at 35 seconds. Now, had I brought aero braking gear, we could probably just dip into the atmosphere, diving straight forward, and slow down that way. But nope, I didn't. 35 seconds, that's where I want to be. So we're hitting the brakes, adjusting the plane at the same time. Land on Duna. That's not going to happen. But this maneuver is everything we need now to get ourselves into a more stable orbit. We do have an Ike encounter. So our ships are going to be separating, doing a whole bunch of magic. Let's go just straight retrograde at this point. Get rid of that maneuver. And let a little fine tuning happen here for the rest of this. We're aiming for 10 kilometers. So I'm going to aim for 15 just to make it my life a little easier, just in case I miss. There's 100 kilometers, 50, 40, 30, 12. That's good enough for me. Then we have all sorts of funky orbiting stuff happening. That guy's on an escape trajectory. We'll change that though. We'll too close. We can fix that here. The lander is going to be fine with that type of approach. I'm really thinking now. The lander is going to be fine with that type of approach. I am going to warp out into the sunlight and then do some stuff. Okay. Alright, we're in space now. Here's the deal. A scientist is going to need to get into this. So, crew hatch. Hating. Go ahead and transfer over to the lander can. Now, with Hating in the lander can, we're going to remodulate this whole spacecraft. We're going to disconnect this node. We are going to get the lander out of the way, connect the engine to this pod for the return trip. Yep. Quick save. Activate the next stage. Decouple that node. Take control of the other ship. RCS on. Move to the side. RCS on here. Set as target. Turn on your torque. What? Oh. I have the wrong people and the wrong ships. Shoot. Hating, you need to get out. Let go. Head over there really quick. That was silly of me. Okay, let's get the ship stable. Andra, you get to be the one who goes over here to the old probe. Turn on your lights so we can see what's going on here. Whew, bad time to sneeze. Get on board. All right. Okay. Now. There it is. That's what I need right there. We're now moving towards this thing. And we will just turn this around, like so. Turn the RCS back on, control it from here, and just get ourselves redocked to the engine module, which is right there. That debris can suck it. Arjo's coasting off to an encounter with Ike, which is somewhere over there. There it is. But right now, we are just going to keep this thing pointed directly at this docking port. Which is all rotated and funny now, but that's okay. We'll have to fix that. Dang it. Let's aim a little over this way. Get ourselves turned. Kind of more like... that thing is turned, maybe? Wrong way. You go like this. Are we still controlling from here? Yep. Okay. We're in pretty good shape here, actually. Considering. So that's how you set up an 8 control surface RCS. It really is not the most efficient use of RCS that's ever been known in the universe ever. Up. This way, this way. There we go. There it is. We're reconnected. RCS can be off. That guy can sit like that. We now have a significantly lighter ship to worry about now. Let's go ahead and toggle this so our other ship can dock with us. And at this point, we're going to call it for episode, what is it, episode 7? Tune in episode 8 when we take a look at landing and repositioning this craft for a better orbit around Duna. So until then, hang tight. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.